it's officially Super Bowl week, so let's bring in a Super Bowl champion, Rhode Island native Will Blackmon. It pains me to say that because I was at the expense of the New England Patriots in 2011. Will, tell us, as this Super Bowl weeks begin, what that experience was like for you as a player and how different it'll be for the Bucs and Chiefs because everything is virtual this year.
Yeah, it's going to be totally different because right now I'm gearing up to get all the tickets and what have you for my family to get them going there. So obviously everything's going to be completely different. So it'd be interesting. I'm glad. I am excited to hear what the week was like once they get down there and during those media interviews.
Yeah. Is it in some ways, I imagine, easier for the players because they don't have to deal with the distractions? Tampa's already in their hometown and Kansas City isn't getting into town until the end of the week.
Would it be easier, you're saying?
Yeah, is it easier for both teams not having to deal with the hoopla? Like, what was your experience in Indy that year, the craziness that is Super Bowl week, and some of that they can avoid this week?
Yeah, I mean, it is less distraction, but that also is the fun part. You know, you see everyone and everybody there. You run into certain people, and it's part of the whole experience. So, right, it is key in terms of getting their mind right for the game, but it's also unfortunate they're going to miss all the cool festivities there.
All right, now you get to introduce yourself, or others like I just introduce you as a Super Bowl champion. For those of them playing in the big game, how does your life change after becoming a Super Bowl champion, other than the big ring that you get to put on the finger?
Yeah, well, it changes just simply because it's a permanent title. You know, anything that you do where that etches you in stone, you know, they can never take it away. You know, so that's where it does become different. You know, it helps because you've been part of something where it reached the pinnacle, so you know what it looks like. So that is the difference. So therefore, you know, people will value your opinion simply because you've been to the height and you actually won.
All right, you grew up in Rhode Island, but correct me if I'm wrong, you weren't a Patriot fan growing up, right?
Yeah, it is not. It's not like I didn't like the Patriots. I just like Barry Sanders, so he was my favorite player. That is what it was. Yeah, so I had nothing against the Patriots. I like Barry Sanders.
All right, so you and I are the same age. We grew up like in high school. Tom Brady went to his first Super Bowl. Here he is now at 43 in his 10th. What can you say about his longevity as a guy who grew up watching him and competed against him and now are watching him as someone who does this thing for a living?
No, that's a wild phase, right? I grew up watching him, then played against him, and now I'm retired and he's still playing. Like, that is unreal, but that's a testament to just his mental endurance. You know, I'll tell people, like, that is his best asset. Like, his greatest strength is his mind. And as much as people are like, oh, you know, Brady's in it again, I think it's so cool. I think it's so impressive to keep winning because it's hard. It's that hard to keep winning and then to go to a new team, a new conference, and you're right back in it. I mean, I think it's the coolest thing in the world.
All right, so you faced mobile quarterbacks, you faced pocket quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady are much different QBs. How is it as a DB different preparing for each of those guys? Yeah,
well, the tough thing with Patrick Mahomes is that he can put the football anywhere. I mean, there isn't a radius out of his range in terms of where he can throw the football. And it does help, too, that he has, you know, two amazing receivers, you know, all-pro receivers. He can get the ball to, and Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. But, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, it's incredible because when he won the Super Bowl, I remember he was on LeBron's barbershop, and he said, I'm still learning how to read defenses. And I was like, gosh, he's going to be good for another 15 years, which is crazy. And the thing with Tom Brady that makes it challenging is that he knows your defense better than you do. You know, there isn't anything he hasn't seen. He has all the answers to the test. So that's why it's like people want to try to trick Tom Brady, try to out-scheme him. Like, that's not going to work. The formula that has worked every single time is like you need to get to him before he gets to you. And that is putting pressure on him before he completes passes and ends up beating you.
All right, now the first domino to fall in the QB carousel is Matthew Stafford going to LA. You're out in Los Angeles. What was your reaction to that, and what happens from here with other teams?
I think it's phenomenal. The fact that they were able to get Stafford in that trade, you kind of saw that they were. The jury was out with Goff. You know, ever since the Bears played him in 2018, I believe it was, they put the blueprint on how to stop Jared Goff, and that's exactly what the Patriots did when they played the Rams in the Super Bowl. They did the same thing. So now everyone knows, like, hey, you put pressure on him, we don't know how he's going to hold up. Like, he's not going to really scare anybody. And I think the jury was out, and the Rams kind of saw that. And then you get Brad Holmes, who goes to the Detroit Lions, new GM, and obviously he was with the Rams. So I'm sure he and Les Snead work something out. But I'm excited for this trade simply because we saw what Aaron Rodgers did in this offense. I can't even imagine what Matthew Stafford. I have him rated, top 4 arms. You have, Aaron Rodgers, you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Josh Allen, and Stafford is right there in terms of just an unbelievable arm talent.
All right, I'm going to give you, so we're going to do that quickly. I'm going to give you NFL team. You're going to tell me who their quarterback is this fall. And if you double up.
You gave me no time to prepare. That's what's funny about this. You were like, we're going to do this. I'm like, all right, here we go.
All right, Colts.
Oh, my. Well, I had Stafford. Now I'm like, who's it going to be? I don't know. Somebody, they draft somebody. I don't know.
Okay, so
maybe Jacoby Brissett, because they did pay him $20 million.
All right, the Texans.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. All right, so the next question is Jets.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. It's happening. That's my guess.
Watson to the Jets. All right, Deshaun. Okay. 49ers.
49ers. I did put a little bug out there and was like something might happen with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers can go there. So I'll say Aaron Rodgers is in San Francisco.
All right, so where does I'm going to go to New England because if Garoppolo's gone, who does New England have at quarterback?
I have no clue. Jarrett Stidham.
Jarrett Stidham. Okay. All right, Dolphins.
I don't know who else goes there.
Well, I want to ask you something. Tom Curran said that Matthew Stafford said he said he didn't want to go to the Pats. What do you make of that?
I mean, why would you?
I don't know. To be coached by Bill Belichick.
Is it Patricia back there?
Patricia's there, yeah. Do you think that was strict?
Also too, and you don't know the well, one, of course he doesn't want to go back with Patricia if he wants to leave regardless. And obviously things didn't work out with him there. But I think too, you don't know their plan. If you can go to a place where you can go to LA and you can I think he already lives in California, and you're on a team that is ready to go. He's at the point in his career where he's not trying to reset. Guys are trying to win right now. That's why James Harden went to Brooklyn, because he's trying to win now. He's already played. He already did everything he needs to do. He made all the money. He had all the accolades. He's trying to get a Super Bowl. And the Rams, their window is closing. They have a top defense. They have a lot of playmakers. They're trying to win now before this thing blows up.
All right, I'm a couple more. Eagles.
The Eagles. Oh, Hurts.
Hurts. So you think Wentz is gone, or he just
no. Actually, no. I think they're back. It can't be Hurts because they like Hurts. Oh, Wentz. So it's gonna be Wentz.
All right, Wentz. Redskins. You used to play for them.
Washington football team.
I'm sorry. God, I still do it all the time. Washington football team.
Washington football team. They're gonna go in the draft. I don't know who they're gonna grab, but they're gonna get somebody in the draft.
What about Saints? If Breeze retires.
It's going to be Jameis. They're grooming Jameis to be the guy. If he just throws 15 picks, he's a top 5 quarterback. It's that simple.
Did I ask you Dolphins? You have Watson going elsewhere. So what about Dolphins? Tua.
All
right, and Raiders.
That's going to be an interesting one. Because what's name has to go somewhere, right? Where is Zach Wilson going to go? The dude from BYU.
I don't know. Maybe the Jets, but you have Deshaun going there. Wilson's going to be top 10, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Now I want
to. He'll go Carolina. That's my pick.
Carolina. Okay.
Zach Wilson.
Circling back one more time to the Pats. They have a lot of cap space. Maybe, depending on who you ask, Belichick is motivated from missing the playoffs and the Tom Brady celebrity tour we're all on right now. Do you see them rebounding this year?
I definitely do. All their guys will come back who opted out. That was a huge loss for them. And also, too, they can hit it, pretty good in free agency, getting some key players. I think in terms of the quarterback will be important, but I think just getting playmakers at the skill position is what's going to help them tremendously.
Yeah, receivers, tight end has been a gaping hole. All right, couple more. I want to ask you about former Hendrick and Hawk like yourself, Kwity Paye, who I know you keep in touch with. He's been at your football camp, projected to be possibly a top 10 pick. What conversations are you having with Kwity about this process? Because you're a guy he can lean on to see what it's like going into the NFL and everything he needs to do between now and draft day to make sure he is wanted by NFL teams.
Yeah, the cool thing, speaking to Kwity since he was, 13 years old, is he gets it. You know, he's such an old soul. He's so mature. So our conversations aren't that deep because they don't need to. Like, he's not concerned or worried about anything. You know, he will pick my brain about certain stuff if he's truly, you know, has a legit question. But for the most part, we just check in. Like right now, he's training in Arizona, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Because I'm doing well. Like he's so excited and so ready for the process. And I feel like, you know, my job is just to be here if he needs something. I don't need to always check in on him and always call him and try to give him all these speeches and motivations if he doesn't really need it. Because I frankly don't think he needs it. You know, he has like a veteran mindset. So yeah. I'm just excited watching him, you know, from the stands.
Do you do anything on your own behalf? Like anyone you know in front offices? Are you like, hey, you got to check out my boy Quiddy, he's real deal? Or do you just let the talent evaluators figure that out on themselves?
Yeah, unless like Quiddy's projected pretty high, so I don't really need to say much there. Now, guys, there have been some teams that will call and would want to know what kind of person he is and what have you. So maybe if that's the case, but for the most part, I don't have to do anything for him because his play on the field speaks for itself. But I am in touch with most, if not all, GMs when it comes to players and certain things. So I do have those connections. But yeah, with Quiddy, man, like I said, I am not worried about him, not one bit.
He was doing some one-legged squats the other day on social media that was wild, the amount of weight he was doing. All right, what can you tell us about the Wine MVP, the business you've started here? You're wearing the hat right now for all of our wine lovers out there right now.
Yeah, so the Wine MVP, really, because I know people follow me on social media, they just see the NFL guy drinking wine like every day. But the Wine MVP, it's a VIP wine concierge. So I do everything from like, you know, I do private virtual tastings. I do events, host. I help people set up trips. I buy wine for people. I help design cellars. Couple of clients, Matt Ryan, I got him. I filled up his cellar. Josh Allen just built a new cellar. Got him, Reggie Bush, and Justin Tuck. So I do all kinds of cellar inventory. So it's literally a full concierge service. And right now, I do have a wine club called the Wine MVP subscription club. But there's going to be some cool things happening this year. That's going to be more inclusive for everyone in terms of like an educational and wine standpoint. So yeah, that's the Wine MVP.
All right, my wife's a big Pinot Noir fan. Give me a manageable priced but good Pinot Noir for me.
Give me a manageable. I'm not going to send you to Europe and buy $2,000 DRC. No. I mean,
give me something that's like between 25 and 50 that, you know, is decent.
25 and 50 Pinot Noir. I think Black Kite is one that's pretty cool.
Okay.
And then. See, my prices are jacked up. I'm just gonna text you, bro. I know you put me on the spot right now because I've been drinking just blends and cabs right now. So my price points for Pinot Noirs.
We can go higher. We can go higher. All right.
No, you don't want to go higher. You don't want to do that. Oh, you know what? You can go to Bailey Family Wines in Oregon. Actually, he's a young, not young, but his winery is a small producer. He actually used to work in Burgundy, France. And then he lived out there. He's from Chicago, lived in Burgundy, learned how to make wine, came back to Oregon because Oregon makes some like unbelievable Pinot Noir. So Bailey Family Wines is
Bailey. And I saw you did something with Drew Bledsoe a little while back. I got to try that out of Walla Walla, Washington, right? Is that where his?
Yeah, that one you got to go in your pocket a little bit for some double bags.
Yeah, I've heard that. All right, let's get your Super Bowl pick before we let you go here.
Oh my gosh! Here's the thing.
You haven't thought of this yet? You're going to be asked 100 times this week.
No, I haven't yet. This is like one of my first ones. So like, that's what's up. It's like twofold, right? Kansas City, they're the new dynasty. Mm-hmm. Okay, I believe so. But I will love to see Tom Brady get 7 and get the hell out of here already. Okay, that's I want him to win so he can go home.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
All right, I like that. Looking forward to that Super Bowl 55. Will Blackmon, appreciate your time as always and enjoy the game and looking forward to all your ventures in media and in the wine business. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.